And in the top right-hand corner of the map, ESV Cloud Kingdom, we have our green Zerg player from IG. It is Xigua. And his opponent in the lower left-hand corner, still just one game away from advancing into the finals. It is from World Elite, Loner, our red Terran player.
Yep, and you know, we've seen Loner go mech a couple times already. Will he choose to do it again in Game 4? This is a map where I feel like mech is actually especially good, so wouldn't be surprised at all to see him go for that same strategy. Xigua, though, I feel like is a Zerg player that while he kind of is struggling a little bit against mech, he kind of figured it out late game. I feel like Loner kind of overdid it a little bit with the battle cruisers. I don't know if that was quite necessary.
Necessary?
But yeah, so I don't know.
All
Might
right.
see him play a little bit more standard this time around.
I hope not.
Well, you know, I mean, it's entertaining, but, you know, if Loner wants to win this game, he's going to have to do what it takes
I guess so.
to win.
But that's boring. When we could see battle cruisers and seeker missile and nukes.
For the longest time, back when the game first came out, I was like really trying to figure out ways to rush for seeker missile and like have it actually work, but it just doesn't. I'm sorry.
I will personally give $300 to the first pro player that's able to successfully put 6 nukes and 6 Hunter Seeker missiles into a game on that gets cast live on IPL TV.
It's already happened, man. Not on IPL TV, but I've seen that. I've seen those games in the GSL.
I know, so I'm saying IPL TV.
All right. Okay.
I'm putting that out there,
Sure.
so if anyone's watching.
All right. Well, I think that sounds like a good idea. Why not? I'll go home and work on my Seeker Missile build.
Good stuff.
See if I can get some money off you. This doesn't have to be. Oh, you said pro player, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh well. Give me a couple months.
Okay. Oh, really?
That's all. That's all.
Ooh. Okay. Well, it's gas steal out of Xigua for at least a little while. Wants to keep his scout alive and make sure he gets a good look at what his opponent's doing. Because if we remember last time, it was Uncloaked Banshees off of one base into double command center. So a little bit different look from Loner. So Xigua wants to make sure he has a better idea of what his opponent is going to do. This go around, of course, we see it's a one Rax gasless fast expand.
Yep.
Xigua going to continue and recycle this though, because you know, I mean, being able to stop. You know, a lot of times people will go after double extractors afterwards to be able to get back into it and get that factory out as quick as possible. This will actually put a stop to that.
Yeah, notably as well, Xigua back at home has gotten as his first gas as well, so he'll be able to get Zergling speed quite quickly and potentially put some pressure on with that as well. So
that's right.
Could be another option to get in there and slow down what Loner is doing. And when you're going against a meching Terran player, really anything you can do to slow them down is very, very valuable too, because mech relies a lot on very strong pushes, but the later they come, the more prepared you'll be, obviously. It sounds simple, but it's so crucial if you go up against a Terran player that you think is going to mech to try to do everything you can to kind of hinder them.
Now, this has been really annoying for Loner to deal with. I mean, he's got 2 Marines there, but you need 3 to be able to DPS down an Extractor. So as long as Xigua's control, it's good, and he doesn't lose his drone, he'll be able to do that over and over again. Now,
I think the record that I saw for someone redoing an Extractor was like 7 times, I think it was, in the GSL.
7 times?
Yeah,
that's
it
impressive.
was a lot, man.
This is going to be time number 5 if he does it again, though, here in just a second.
He's going for the record. Oh!
That's 5.
It's 5.
All right. Well, as we can see, it's a factory coming out for Loner and a 3rd command center. And look at this. Ro4 just finishing up, and a couple of injects are just about to hit.
Yep, that's right. So I think we are going to see a Roachling rush, as you seem to be suggesting. Oh, he doesn't quite make it to 6 extractor tricks, it looks like. So close. So close. I'm trying to remember who has the record. I want to say, actually, I want to say it was MVP Monster.
Oh, really?
Honestly, I'm trying to remember who that was. I distinctly remember Wolf and I casting that. I'm 90% sure it was Monster now that I think about it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, our first roaches are popping out now. In fact, 4 more just about to make their way out. It's going to be a total of 8. Let's see if he floods in Lings behind this or what his approach is going to be. Actually, droning up behind this. So he just wants to put on pressure at the beginning. He's not going to go all in.
It's like, I don't want to go alone. Okay, let's go.
It's dangerous to go alone. Here, take this.
Take these roaches with you.
Yes.
Other roach.
All right.
Banshee's on the way, it looks like, for Loner, getting that tech lab on the factory starport as well. I like the bunker positioning. A lot of Terran players putting that bunker back a little bit further than they used to. A little bit more secure that way.
Yep, definitely. And poor SEV just picked that moment to go out and scout.
It's a good thing
of course,
he did.
Yeah, it really helps Loner, though, so he knows these roaches are coming.
Yep, and these roaches may decide to actually just walk into the main. Nope, they're going to go ahead and go after that bunker, which they will not be able to DPS down.
That's right. Actually, he was kind of recycling himself and just trying to take down the supply depot, which he did. Got an outright kill on it, but and has denied some mining. So this has not been bad, actually. Yeah, he's going to force his opponent to go ahead and start healing that up.
What? No, no. Xigua, you could have just kept hitting the command center, man. All right.
Well, this is still not terrible. He picked off a couple of SEVs there, and he's going to continue to do economic damage. I mean, this is still a lot of SEVs that aren't mining right now. This is causing hundreds of minerals in economic damage.
Yeah, it is being very annoying for our Terran player Loner. Xigua doing a good job with those roaches. I feel like the bunker should have been a little bit more forward in this case. I feel like this is a little bit too far back here.
Oh, and this also supply blocked Loner as well. The only reason he's making units right now is because he just had them killed. He is sitting at 49 over 49, though.
Ah, okay, interesting. That gas is never going to get up anytime soon, except for now, maybe. But it was delayed just a little bit, at least. Zergling speed on the way now for Xigua, as well as a pretty quick lair. Now, Loner should have a Banshee or two coming out right now if he doesn't already have one on the field.
He does.
In fact, there he goes, yeah.
All right. Well, these roaches are going to be killed. The Banshee will be able to catch up to them and slowly but surely eliminate them.
Yep.
So, Xigua does have his Baneling Nest coming up. Looks like Lair Tech just finished up, so we'll see if we get a Spire here momentarily. Should pretty soon. There it is. Okay, so Spire coming up and probably a couple of Spore Crawlers here in just a second.
Yep, going for that popular Xigua style of playing, getting the Spire up there. Really, it seems like Xigua likes that kind of older school style of ZVT that's kind of more or less fallen by the wayside.
And one Banshee can DPS down to Queen, so the Queen's certainly going to have to watch out. No!
Oh,
bye-bye, Queen.
Whoops.
Queen for a Banshee, though, is a pretty good trade for the Zerg player, so.
Yep. And he's going to need to push away these Marines a little bit. Can't be too aggressive with the Zerglings. Oh, but the Queen's getting a little bit low. Speed is done now.
Yeah, that's
Xigua
right.
able to save that other Queen at least.
Yeah, but still taking a little bit of damage there. This hatchery not going to be at 100% full health, but that's quite all right. Spire is a barrier to finish up now. And Xigua is going to be able to put out 6 or 7 Munalisks as soon as that finishes.
Yep, that's right. So then that harassment will begin. It looks like Loner is going for mech yet again. He's got a Thor, a Hellion, and a tank building at the same time.
That's right.
It's a pretty good sign for that. Continuing to make a couple Marines. I do this a lot too. You just kind of continue to make Marines a little while until the Thors come out, until you can kind of bolster with missile turrets a little bit.
Well, we've even seen players like Marine King go up to like 3 or 4 racks, or what Gumiho did in Team Arena Challenge. Actually, we'll talk about that in a second as these Banelings are starting to roll through. Oh, they're able to make it through the supply depot.
No.
Oh!
Whoa, that was bad for Loner. Xigua just killed 33 SCVs in one fell swoop almost.
Xigua may have just won the game right there. We're going to see if he's able to keep pressing that advantage, but my God, that was huge.
That'll certainly hold back Terran a little bit.
Yep.
That's what it's all about, right?
But you don't like you're not good with losing 33 workers right in the middle?
Well, you know, as a Terran player, you generally want your workers to be living rather than dead. They can mine a little bit more that way.
I don't know the metagame was going that way. So
yeah, that's right. Living workers is certainly becoming popular in StarCraft too.
All right. Well, the more you know, I suppose. Well, there's a fair number of mutas that are running across the map. 7 of them, as a matter of fact, with +1 attacks on the way. Continuing to add those on one at a time. And missile turrets are up, but the missile turret coverage, well, it's pretty good. So these mutas aren't going to do a lot other than just be annoying.
Yep, but they will do a good job of keeping Loner in his base, although losing that many SCVs would have probably done that. Anyway, Xigua, though, after getting a huge win like that, killing all those workers is really in a great spot to just do whatever he wants. In fact, I'm surprised we don't see him taking like a 4th base and even droning up a little bit more. And there we go, yeah, there's the 4th. I mean, he knows he's got the leeway to do basically, you know, anything at this point.
Xigua is on autopilot because he's putting up a 2nd Roach Warren right now. He was like, oh, mech, I need roaches for that. Puts up a Roach Warren.
Lots of roaches.
Yes. That's right, you can make them twice as fast. No, I'm actually totally lying for anyone who's new to StarCraft. And it's like, really? Okay, good tip. No, I'm actually a dirty liar.
Yeah, Thor's chasing away those mutas. Oh, some hits being taken there. Thors have such long range, man.
10 range on Javelin missiles.
Not bad.
A little ridiculous.
Not bad.
Not quite as cool as the 22 range on the Tempest that you can upgrade to in Heart of the Swarm.
That's a bit scary, too. There's the infestation pit. So Xigua moving already into that later game tech here.
And the upgrade is coming out of that second Ro4, so yeah, he's totally forgotten about the one that's sitting inside of his main.
Yeah, that does happen. But right now, Loner's still in a pretty good spot. I mean, he did lose a lot of workers, but he does have mules coming out of 3 orbital commands. He can remake 3 workers at once. He's got the base pretty locked up tight against any sort of Mutalisk aggression. So, you know, it's not really that bad. I mean, it's not good, but it could be worse.
It could certainly be worse, but, you know, Xigua's doing the right thing. He's kind of expanding free and making sure that he just really invests in his economy. He goes up to super high tech pretty early on. I mean, we can see he's banking gas already for the purpose of putting up some Broodlords eventually. So, I mean, he's just really doing the right thing now. Just kind of contain the map, make sure his opponent doesn't overexpand, and then just tech up to tier 3 and go.
Yep, there's a scan to kind of check out the tech. He does see the hive building, so that will give him a good clue as to the timings that his opponent is going to be hitting in this latter part of the game. Man, I love the special edition Thors. It looks so neat.
I know.
So cool. I need to find, like, can you still get special edition SC2? I feel like you might be able to find it somewhere.
I think some pop up on, you know, various different sites and stuff like that of people who kept them and tried to, like, sell them later for a higher profit. But I don't know if you can, like, just buy them for face value anymore.
Maybe. Well, we'll see, because I want another Terran account on NA.
I have one StarCraft account. That's it. I don't understand.
I've got 5. I like to keep my practice separated, though, so that's why.
Gotcha.
I'm very meticulous about I'm very methodical, I guess you could say, about my practice.
Guess so. Well, we'll see now what Xigua follows us up with. Of course, he does, or he's almost max, I should say. Pathogen glands are just finishing up, too, so we can add on some infestors in a second. But not going to have a lot of... Oh, well, there we go. Finally, Ultralisk Cavern is actually coming out, so that's going to be his tech choice. 2/2 upgrades for ground melee forces coming up, and he does have that adrenal glands as well.
I do not like Ultras versus mech. I mean, there's just too much that can kill them so fast in that composition. So... You know, I mean, I know he does have a lead, obviously, but I think Ultralisks are a bit of a questionable decision. I'm really curious to see how he chooses to use them. It's going to really be all about the engagements. And speaking of engagements...
Yeah, that's right. So the Roach is backing away after they kill a couple of Hellions. Not too much other damage done there. But, I mean, well, Xigua's actually at the point now where he's going to trade a couple of forces once he banks some resources in order to replace those with Tier 3 tech. Yep. And he does have that Greater Spire coming up as well. So we'll be able to go both into Broodlords and Ultralisk as the situation kind of demands.
Yep. Large Zerg army there, just kind of chilling out.
That's right. Good number of Banelings there as well.
Yep. +2 vehicle weapons on the way. And, frying those Banelings before they can finish to a certain extent. The tanks do siege up, but the Hellions are not in a position to block against the Roaches. Not the best engagement for Loner, but it looks like he just is going to have enough DPS to hold this off.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be able to kill this, but again, we're in that situation where Xigua, it's not the worst thing in the world for him because he needed that supply. So now he's got 4 Ultras and he's got 66 Zerglings coming up after that. Yep. So, and this is really, he's getting to that point where he's taking the map. He's going to be on 6 base here in just a bit, and he's going to want to continue to trade against these very expensive units that Loner's got on the field.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get that Hellion count down, then Lings are absolutely what you want to get against mech. The attack speeds of tanks, even if they're unsieged, and Thors are just way too slow to handle large amounts of speedlings. So if he can get the Hellion count a little bit lower, he's going to be able to really do a lot of damage with those Zerglings. But a lot of times what you want is Infestors to trap the Hellions and then be able to go in on the rest of the mech force with the rest of your army there. So we'll see how he engages this. A little bit of an Infestor ahead, but they're not working too well.
That's right. I didn't know if he was going to use Neuroparasite there, but none of that actually came out. Yeah, actually getting in there with the Zerglings behind. He's going to be able to evaporate the rest of the mech army. Very well done there. Just Air Forces remaining, and that's not all that great for Loner.
Yeah,
so
not bad. Not bad at all. Loner kind of putting himself in a bad position there. His opponent has a base up on him right now, so things are getting a little bit risky here for our Terran player. Oh, losing both Vikings there as well. And the Zerglings attacking the planetary.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to go through this, but it looks like they are actually dealing with the SUVs pretty quickly, so may actually be able to kill this. So Planetary Fortress is going to go down at the same time. Everything's just running into the third, and unfortunately for Loner, I just don't know what he has to hold this back.
Yeah, I think we might see Xigua make it to the finals. Great response to that mech play, just doing a great job of positioning himself correctly, doing something that a lot of Zergs struggle with. And all the SCVs going down again. GG!
And that ties things up 2-2. So Xigua just